This video is going to show the general operation of a starter control panel from a Canadair T-33 training jet. The T-33 was originally developed by Lockheed, but then Canadair built them under license from Lockheed. And this particular airplane was built in the 1950s. It uses a series of relays and electromechanical timer, and we've had to do some repairs on these lately to get them operating correctly. So I thought we'd do the video just to show how this system works. So first of all, this is the starter control panel. Its main component is a timer, 36-second timer. That's how long it runs. And this timer controls the starter, the ignition, the fuel for the engine. And after 36 seconds, it shuts off, or should if it's working correctly. We've had some timers that were defective and kept going. Anyways, then the main starting relay is a 600 amp automatic dropout relay. I've got another one over here that is defective, and that's the type of relay it is. And the starting current on the T-33, initially when it first hits the starter, it'll just for a couple seconds hit about 1,000 amps, and then it tapers off from then. This one here was taken out of a bad starter control panel, and if you hear, there's loose parts in it. That's basically the main contacts are blown off the inside of the relay. They're about the size of a dime, and they're in bad shape, so this one's defective. So we put another one on that we had here that was a serviceable unit. So the timer actually is hooked up into the in the aircraft. This panel is on the right-hand side, rear fuselage, just behind the rear cockpit, and it controls a smaller relay, which actually turns on the relays here and the other components. So over here we hooked up a breadboard here to show a couple different things. First of all, we got a light here to show when the starter goes on. Now, being that that's an automatic dropout relay, what it does is it senses the current that the starter is taking, and when the starter current starts to taper off, the relay disconnects. Since we don't have a starter hooked up and we only have a little light hooked up, it's only going to stay engaged for a few seconds, and then the starter light is going to go out. The other light here is for the igniters, which is also hooked up to the fuel bleed valve too. So when the igniters go on, this light's going to go on, and this light's going to stay on for the full 36 seconds. And at the end of the 36 seconds, in a normal situation, the engine would be up and running and going, and the whole thing will shut down. Now we have two switches here. One is for the starter control switch. It's in what we'd call the normal position right now. It just gives power to the circuit. And then there's the start switch, which is going to be a momentary switch, which after 3 to 5 seconds, you just hold it down 3 to 5 seconds, and it'll start the whole process going. I've got a voltmeter here that's just showing voltage of the system right now, and this is an old voltmeter. It's reading a couple volts low, but should be about 24 volts to show the voltage of the system. So here we're going to start the whole thing going. First of all, I'm going to take the top off of this so you can see the inside of the relay, or the timer here, which basically has a set of points, not only up here but also underneath. There's a couple sets of points down underneath that control the whole system too. Pretty antiquated system with these points. We've had issues with these points, and we're having problems finding new timers too. So this one we had rebuilt from a couple other timers. So here we go. The noise you hear once we start is going to be that of the timer. Okay, the starter's engaged. There go the igniters. The starter would normally stay on until the engine was up to speed, and then the load would decrease from the starter, and then it would drop out from the relay. But since we don't have that load, it dropped out right away. So there's the igniters are going. The timer is going here. You can see the wheel turning here. And once it gets to the end of the cam, it shuts off. That's the end of the process. And the igniter light's out, and the engine's running, and you've got a happy pilot ready to fly his airplane. Anyways, that's the short version of how this works. Thank you very much.